Okie dokie. Really quick, I just wanted to start off by saying a couple things. Number one, I may show a little bit of frustration in this. It's because it was an overtime service call. And yes, I realize I should be thankful for that kind of stuff. But sometimes at 9 o'clock at night, you can't help but be a little bit frustrated when you get a walk-in freezer call. And when you see the reason why I had the walk-in freezer call, it kind of makes you a little bit more frustrated. The second thing, once I start cleaning some of the stuff on top of this mezzanine, you guys will see what I'm talking about. I took some risks, okay? Be sure to always get your management involved before you do something like what I did. It doesn't sound like the biggest thing in the world. You guys will see it in the video. It really doesn't sound like it's a big deal, but it can lead to problems if you aren't asking for permission or if you're not being careful because you don't want to damage anything, okay? I'm going to get on with the video instead of revealing what it is, and you guys will see what I'm talking about. We're getting ready to start it up. The current draw, maximum current draw is 6 amps. So we're gonna fire this guy up and see what happens. It's gonna be loud because these things, they run hard and heavy. We're gonna bump start it, make sure nothing's hitting. Probably power it down. Look at it, already just killed it right there. This video is brought to you by Sporlan. Quality, integrity, and tradition. We have got a service call on a walk-in freezer not working. Looks like we got a bad fan motor, but I don't think that's our issue. They also just had someone come in and put these silly ECM fan motors in here. But it's like an energy savings thing. But anyways, box is at approximately 30 degrees and there's no ice on the coil. So we got to get up to the rooftop equipment and see what's going on up there. According to this temperature controller, we are set for -5. So, yeah. This is an odd location in that their equipment is located on in a parking structure. Well, some of their equipment. So, at least I'm not hiking all the way up on top of a roof right now, but yeah. Get up here and then they normally have elevators and everything, but because of the whole virus, they don't got any of that stuff running right now, so. Done a couple videos up here, but we got a whole mezzanine up here. These cooling fans, I noticed the last time I was here, they're not working right. Probably overheating equipment. Okay, this is my equipment right here. It's not a good sign that it's not running right now. But that condenser's pretty darn dirty too, so. It turned on and then it turned off right away, but look at my head pressure. We're shutting on and off on high head pressure. This guy right here. Guarantee. Woo! Hot discharge line. So both condenser fan motors were running. We got to get those condensers clean. Those things are filthy. The only problem is they don't have water up here, but we're gonna have to figure something out. Also, it's not as hot right now, but they have these giant cooling fans and they must have loose belts. They've got to have belts, I'm sure, because these things used to move air. So you've got one right there that's barely moving. This one's barely moving, and then you have 3 more. And they're all barely moving, so I'm sure they have belts. Some of these, though, like, I don't know how the heck you're supposed to get to these. Because you've got this drop-off right there. And and that thing looks filthy, but you got to get up. Yeah, I don't even know. People don't think about this stuff when they put it up here. This one looks like it's just plugged into a receptacle. Huh. Well, I need to find some water. Thinking maybe there might be water down there and I could string it up here. Rinse everything off. Alright, this is kind of a crappy situation. So, I'm at a mall. And I'm standing on a mezzanine right now. That's in front of a parking garage. That has a bunch of holes in it. There's a walkway down below here. And a bunch of parking for cars. See right here, okay? So that's where cars park and stuff. Now, luckily COVID is going on and the restaurant's just opened up, but I'm gonna be lucky if I don't get kicked out of here. I have to hose this stuff. But I know there's a right way to do this, but they're gonna want cleanup people. They're gonna, like, I'm just gonna go for it. It's gonna make a mess, but I'm gonna take all these condensers apart real quick and do it really quick. But if I do it the right way and ask permission from the mall, they're gonna make us show up at 2 in the morning. have people cleaning up stuff. Like, I'm just gonna run it. Now, all of these walk-ins have microchannel condensers, and you have to be very careful about the cleaner that you use. The Viper condenser coil cleaner in the Venom pack is completely microchannel and aluminum safe, and this is highly concentrated. So in all honesty, this will probably do all those condensers. I have another bag in there just in case, but this is probably gonna do it for us. I went around and pulled all the condenser fan motors, just pulled them out so I can give them a good rinse. So we're gonna go pre-wet the coils and then get some cleaner on them. Oh yeah, blowing out black. It's like tire dust and crap. Nice and nasty. I really love this wand. Ooh, yeah, pretty satisfying. Man, they're gonna kill me for all this dirt and water going down there. All right, I gotta put the camera down and knock this out real quick. All right, I pre-wet them, and I'm gonna start on the one that is the problem that I was called for, the walk-in freezer, just in case I get kicked out. You can see we're foaming up real good with that. Coming through here. We're gonna let that sit for a few minutes and move on to the next one. This stuff is completely aluminum and microchannel safe, and it won't hurt anything. Good stuff. Really like the Viper cleaners. I'm gonna let that sit on there. I know I'm like really rushing because I know I'm gonna get kicked out of here. I think I'm running a little heavy on the concentration, but that's okay. I want it to penetrate and go through. Okay. This one again real quick. Make sure it's going all the way through. This thing, I don't know if these things have ever really been cleaned really thoroughly with water. We've brought like leaf blowers up here before because most of it is just dust from the cars. They really don't get grease up here. There's no exhaust fans or anything, but be careful. I don't want to short out the motors. That's why I tried to pull them out. Looks like I am burning through it pretty quick, but I'm running on C, which is a really high dilution ratio. No, looks like I got all the walk-ins done. See, I'll need a little bit more for the AC, but not much. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. I can already hear the water falling down below. So they do routine patrols with security here, so that's what I'm thinking they're gonna get pissed at me about. All right, let's hit this up. I'm gonna hit up the AC real quick. All right, this stuff's been sitting on here for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. It's not gonna hurt the coils at all. It's actually best to let it sit on there. We're gonna give it a good rinse and go from there. I'm gonna start on the, in order. I did the AC last, so that'll be the last one that I rinse. So, all right, they're all clean. We're gonna let them drip dry, and I got a little leaf blower. I'm gonna blow the condensers out real quick, knock them out. This one has a split row condenser. I really don't have time to split it right now, so I just cleaned it really good from both sides. I'm sure it's dirty on the inside because I guarantee it's never been cleaned, and it's units from 2014. So, but yeah, everything's good so far. We're gonna get ready to start putting everything back together and cleaning up my messes. Put all the units back together, have them all up and running. I lied, I didn't have my blower with me, so I just had to fire them up. They didn't really blow out too many bubbles, so you just gotta be careful because it can suck crap through the microchannel. If it's a really hot day, they can trip on high head pressure if the microchannel's saturated, but it's cool. So we're running a clear sight glass. Refrigerant pressures look a lot better. We're gonna let it run through the night. Probably gonna be good. I'll call them and follow up in the morning. I'm gonna try to talk them into letting me get these blowers going because as the summertime really kicks in, these things have to be running. I've been up on this mezzanine right here and it was 130 degrees when we had like 115 degree outdoor air temp. It was ridiculously hot up here because everything is discharging hot air and that heat pump right there going, it gets crazy hot. So they have to have these blowers on. So I'm gonna wrap my gauges up. It's gonna take me a while to get this, and then I gotta hose off down below because I made a giant mess down there. I don't know if I can see or not what I did. You can't really see it from down here, but I'll give it a good little hosing down there too. So, I actually thought it was going to be worse than this, so it's not too bad. There's not really anything I need to rinse. It'll dry up, and they have big old storm drains right here. So, and again, another cool thing about the Viper cleaner is it's not toxic. It's just soap. All right, we are coming down in temperature. At about 15 and pulling down. They've still got a bad fan motor. I'll have to come back tomorrow. They just had all these installed by some energy efficiency company. So I'll have to come back tomorrow, make sure it's a bad motor. I'm assuming it is, but I don't know. Kind of irritated. Let's see if this thing even spins. Feels like it's locked up, but it could just be that it's an ECM motor or something. It looks like it's plugged in. Maybe. I don't know. All right, I'm back today. They've been making it through the weekend just fine. This fan motor's not working. I'm going to dive into that. These are, like I said, they're new ECM fan motors that they've had a energy company come in and put in, so I need to verify that it's actually bad. So I'm going to open this thing up. This is this motor. There's nothing special about it. It's just plugged into the standard 208 volt source. But this is ridiculous. These blades are stupid. These things are going to break. I just foresee this blade being a problem on a weekend. So far, if I look back in there, it actually looks like the motor came unplugged. Yep. So I should be able to get it plugged back in. See if I get to put the camera down, but I'm gonna have to get in there, get it plugged back in, and it's probably gonna be fine. But this is dumb. This happens a lot. You get these companies, and the pitch on this thing is not moving as much airflow either. I bet you they're slowing down the coil, and my coil is getting colder. I guarantee it. This is silly. This kind of stuff. These energy companies come in and they sell these restaurants. Like, I'm working for a big chain, a national chain, so they'll go into their corporate office and say, hey, we got this device that'll save you thousands and thousands of dollars, and you know, silly stuff like this. This is ridiculous. Where are you going to find this blade when it goes bad? Nowhere. You're going to have to order it from someone special. That's dumb. All right, so because we had a loose terminal, it ended up shorting out and arcing on the I don't have it anymore. What do I do right here? The connector. So it wasn't repairable. That it arced and ruined the female section. So the wire going to the other coil was super tight. So what I ended up having to do was do a butt splice from each one, extend the wires, connect them like that. So I'm gonna put the motor back in and secure everything with zip ties nice and tight, so that way nothing's gonna rub up against heaters or anything like that. And hopefully this motor works. All right, it's back up and running. So no need to get the authorities involved, the warranty people. It was just an electrical short, so I fixed it, secured it, it won't happen again. And we're gonna go jump up on the roof now. All right, so I mentioned before, but these are my cooling fans. They're meant to cool the air up on this mezzanine to try to get the heat out. Now they're running really slow, and I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a belt in there, but I've gotta open them up. I've never opened up one of these before, so this will be a first. The first thing that I'm gonna do though is take my blower, and we're gonna try to blow out as much of this dust as possible. Now, I do have my my gaiter on because I wanna try to keep the dust out of my mouth and my face. I'm gonna get dirty doing this. Also gonna put my glasses on too, because my luck, I get stuff in my eyes all the time. I'm gonna go ahead and use my blower, which is right here, and we'll put it on the high setting and see if we can't get some of this stuff blown away. All right, so I've got this guy opened up. It's powered down. I have the disconnect switch turned off. And yeah, those belts are hammered. So luckily I can get a belt size, A56. See if I can go get 2 AX56 belts for this bad boy. Probably pick up a couple of them because I'll probably fix the other fan over there too. I'm only gonna be able to safely get to 2 of these fans because, well, this one I can get to theoretically too. but they didn't give me much room to get the side panel off because they mounted it so high. This one I can't safely get to because the belt is on the other side without a lift. I would have to come up with the scissor lift. This one is a 115 volt fan that's just sitting up there. So I would have to find a power source for that bad boy. I don't know where that's plugging into. So, it looks like it was going there, but that receptacle doesn't have power. So we're gonna at least get this one going and that one going. All right, so I'm sure there's an easier way, and I'm probably not doing this right, but you gotta fish the belts out of here. They're way down in there, and kind of fish them on. I really don't want to have to take this inside apart, so that's why I'm doing it this way. But all right, it was kind of a pain, but I got the belts on there, got them tensioned up. Here's the motor. I'm gonna pull it up on my camera. I gotta figure out what the voltage is too. And we're gonna test current draw when I start it up. I'm not gonna put the cover back on until I've started it up and make sure that it's not overamping. We're getting ready to start it up. The current draw, maximum current draw is 6 amps. So we're gonna fire this guy up and see what happens. It's gonna be loud because these things, they run hard and heavy. We're gonna bump start it, make sure nothing's hitting. Probably power it down. Look at it, already just killed it right there. Okay, we're gonna go make sure that nothing crazy is going on. Oh wow, why did it stop like that? It shouldn't have stopped so quickly. All right, well, we're gonna let it run this time. Six amps is what we're allowed to draw, 6 amps. So we're good. You can let that one run, and I'm gonna go ahead and put some belts on that one right there. All right, I'm also going to, write the belt size on the side of it with the yellow paint marker right here. So that way the next guy doesn't have to go through all the headaches that I do just to get some belts on there. One thing I forgot to mention was I also want to get in here because I can guarantee there's going to be some greasable bearings in here, and I'd love to grease those up. But I got to ask the customer for that. I'm already really pushing past my not to exceed value. And while I like to, you know, dig into things as much as possible, I also have to be cautious of what the customer wants me to do. So I'm going to go ahead and, cause this is, I'm already pushing past my not to exceed with what I'm doing, but I can justify this, but I need to get that one running, cool down this area, and then we'll talk to them about coming in and greasing these things. I'd also like to get different belts on here too. I could only find standard belts, and I want to get AX belts on here because they'll last a lot longer. But I gotta run this by the customer, and then I'd love to get this fan going and that fan going, but I'm gonna need some more equipment. Same thing on this one. Here it is. You got to kind of fish the belt onto the pulley down here. There's not a lot of room, so I'm going to do the back first. Once I get it on, then I'll bring it up, and I lowered the tension that it's just going to sit right on here, and then we'll tension it up from the motor bracket. All right, here we go. Let's hope this thing don't blow up. We're allowed to run 6 amps. This thing is loud when it starts up. Good. Very, very loud though. All right, so now we got some fans up and running, getting some air out of there, those two. And these ones we'll have to talk to the customer about, but at least that's better than nothing. We get some cooling up in here because it just gets downright hot, especially when this heat pump's running. So we had a service call on a walk-in freezer. Now this was a late night service call, so I was out there, I think it was like 9 o'clock at night. Got out there, found that the condensing unit on the roof or on their parking structure, wherever the condensing unit is, the mezzanine, was going on and off on high head pressure. So I kind of, had a feeling that's what it was going to be, because a lot of these restaurants, now that they're opening back up, It's just nothing but cleaning issues, which is good, but it sucks. There's a bit of frustration in the evening, when you get a call at 9 o'clock at night. It's like, man, really? So I was a little bit worried. Again, I don't suggest that you guys, like I said in the beginning, you got to be very careful about what you do. You don't want to get yourself into trouble. Technically, I probably should have notified the shopping mall that I was going to do what I was going to do. Luckily, there was no customers down below me, but you have to be aware of your surroundings, okay? You don't want to, start soaking a customer's car. Even with refrigeration technologies cleaners, you don't want to be soaking someone's car with anything, whether it be dirt, grease, cleaner, any of that stuff. So you got to be very, very careful about that, okay? So luckily there was nobody walking down there. There was nobody parking down there, and I just cleaned it really quick. I just went for it, took a gamble. Now, I'm the owner. I can make those decisions. My employees, I would ask them to talk to me about it before they tried to do something like that, because I inevitably am going to be the person on the line when something gets damaged or someone gets angry. So, make sure that if you guys go this route like I did, just to go ahead and clean it. And I know it doesn't seem that bad, but it can lead to a lot of problems. Make sure to run it by your supervisor, your boss, whoever, and make sure that they're okay with you doing that, because the last thing you want to do is create a bigger problem. But inevitably, got the equipment cleaned up. Customer was happy. Ended up going back a couple days later, fixing the fan motor, and also doing the cooling fans. Got 2 of the cooling fans running, and then went ahead and let the customer know, hey, we want to get the other ones running, but I'm going to need some specialized equipment, especially for that far one. I need a scissor lift. The one in the middle, I can do it. It's going to take a lot of time. I might need a second person, and I need probably an 8-foot ladder to be able to get up to the top of it and safely do it. The 2 that I did were really low, so I was able to use a 4-foot ladder and safely get to them. So, but that'll get us through more than likely. Those 2 will clear the air across that thing. Since I was already up there, I took the opportunity to go ahead and shoot everything down with the leaf blower and blow everything across. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch these. If you see something, the refrigeration technologies cleaners, the field piece meters, see things that you like, you can get them from your local supply house. You can also get them from TruTech Tools. A way you can support the channel with me is if you use my offer code Big Picture, one word. It'll save you 8% off of your order with TruTech Tools, but it'll also give me a small commission. It won't cost you anything extra. So it does really help to support the channel. If you guys are going to buy tools, use that link if you so choose to use TruTech Tools. So really appreciate it. See you guys Monday evening, 5 p.m. Pacific time, when I go live on YouTube and I talk about these videos and answer questions, okay? Yeah, that's it. We'll see you on the next one.